Whether I'm looking at my news feed by going to the waffle and choosing news feed or looking at my news feed in a particular site, there are only a couple of ways things can get in here. One way something gets in my news feed, either one of them, is that someone types something. Tammy Marley Cox posts something. I post something. So these little microblogs are great because they allow us to have a conversation. And it can be a really rich conversation about things that are going on in our organization. The other possibility is that I can request information about something by following it. For example, if I go to our resource library, there's a document that we're working on. It's the profiling questionnaire. I can click to open up the hover pane and I can follow this document. Once I follow this document, anytime there are changes being made to this document, it will show up in my news feed. Now following this document. This isn't the same as an alert. When I set an alert, I'm going to receive it via email. If I want to not have my email bogged down with alerts, then one way to do it is to follow rather than set an alert. I can follow an entire site here, which adds it to my sites page. If I go to my library, I can alert, but I cannot set a follow on a library, only on individual documents and on entire sites. How do I follow people? Easy enough. I just go find them somewhere and follow them. Or if we go back to our newsfeed, there's a summary of what and whom I'm following, all the different things I can follow. I'm following 3 people, 3 documents, 4 sites, and no tags. If I think that that spring has sprung tag that I created was clever, I can search by it. I can also choose to follow it. So if I click in tags, here's the use of the tag. I can view the entire conversation and or simply choose to follow this tag. Now, whenever there's a post that uses the hashtag spring has sprung, that's going to go to my news feed under following. This is how I focus on a keyword, and that's one of the benefits of tags. I can now have that conversation show up in my news feed, and I can also search for tags just as we just did. Let's look at people. People I'm following, 3 people. If I wanted to follow someone else, I click follow multiple people, add their names to the list in the dialog. If I want to see who's following me, these are people who are following me. I probably should write to Victor and ask him what the deal is. No, that's not fair. I am following him. He's already doing some really great stuff, and eventually he will or will not follow me. If I want to no longer follow Colleen, for example, notice I can stop following her. And if I wanted to mention her without having to type her name, because I'm right here, I can do a mention, and that's going to generate a post that includes her name in it. And I can then continue more information about the post. Can you post a link to the weather article you mentioned somewhere? When Colleen looks to see where she's been mentioned, this will show up, and it will be easy for her to respond to it. Just as I use favorites in Delve to be able to collect and organize the documents that I care the most about, I use following in the rest of SharePoint to turn my news feed into a list of information about the people I work with, about documents that I'm tracking, about the sites that I work on the most, and about tags, keywords that I or others have developed so that I can track the conversations that are important to me.